Hi, here we are again. I've got a couple of Triang Hornby Class 31s here. I think these are both they're both from the 60s. I think the blue one came in about 67, 68 or 69, and the green one was the model before that. Both got the same head code, which they in the catalogues. I think the blue one has a different head code from this, so I don't know why that would be different from the catalogue, but it's the same head code on both ends on both of these. So let's have a look. I've got a couple more actually in a box, so I might have a quick look at them. Now, someone wrote in the comments that he had some of these Triang Suburban ones, and these ones I've got they're quite old. They've got the old Mark II coupling there, you can see, and he inquired about whether you could put seating in them, but these ones that I've got, they're just glued together, so then there's no screw underneath to take them apart. I also had a look at the centre car of my Southern EMU, which is the same as this style of coach here, and that was glued together as well. So maybe they did some later on that had a screw to keep the roof on, but I haven't got any examples of that. So if anyone knows, I think that might be interesting. The comment he made was on a much older video going back a couple of years, I think. Anyway, let's have a look what we've got over here. We've got from I think that's 1999, that B12, quite nicely lined out there, and that's a Chinese one, of course, and another Chinese one is the Princess Margaret Rose, which is quite a nice model. So let's get something moving and see how we get along. I've actually got the more modern version of this locomotive. They did in 2015 or something. I got mine from Hatton's, so I think about 70 quid, and it's kaput now. I did try it out. The motor's just gone kaput. I think they had the wrong commutator on them, the material, or the wrong brushes. But yeah, so that's just idling its life away in a box at the moment. I'm not sure what I'm going to do with it. But it is a slightly better model. The dimensions are more accurate than this one, but seeing as this model goes back to this moulding anyway, this goes back to the early 60s, so they kept it in the range for quite a while. The updates on this one really is just the handrail separately fitted and a very nice paint job. Let's have a quick look at the paint job. Move it along out of the way of that thing. See if we can get a closer view. Yeah, you can see you've got the lining there is quite good. You've got the black stripe in the middle of the whites, and nice gold edging on the splashers. Quite nice drop shadow numbers there and letters. So yeah, it's not a bad effort. So let's let's get him going again. He's got modern, well, when I say modern, I don't mean the very latest Pullman cars, but they're the ones that you get in a train set. These days, if you get a cheap train set. So let's go to one of these. Let's get the green one out, shall we? See what we can do with him. Have we got the points all set properly? Let's try. So we'll back him on to these coaches. It's quite a bump, wasn't it? I presume that's coupled up all right. They're quite powerful, these, because they've got magnesium on the power bogie. They tend to be a bit light at the other end, and sometimes they'll skip over points. And some people put extra bit of weight in them. You can hear it's quite a noisy motor, and the magnesium doesn't really help with that. Off he goes. It's not a bad moulding, this, for well, this is early 60s moulding as well. Yeah, so they discontinued these at quite an early date. I can't remember exactly when that was. It would have been early 70s or something like that. They stopped making this one. I'll have to double check that later on. I might be talking rubbish. But this was the power bogie on this one. They used it when they brought out the Class 37 in the 60s. So they both shared the Brush Type 2 bogie. Oh, he's getting on all right, isn't he? Let's put the Pullman train in the station and we'll have a look at the... It's actually got chuff sound in the tender, that you can't hear it very much. Let's get the Princess going. Change the points there. And this should be a nice smooth start. It's a lovely smooth locomotive, this one. Don't get this one out very often. A lot of the modern ones I don't get out very often. I'm afraid of breaking them. But that's... I think this was 2001. I think at that time they were making models that were a good compromise between a lot of detail and a little bit of robustness. I don't think anything has fallen off of this one. Although I found this earlier this morning, which is obviously I've got an engine out of its packet or put it in its box, and I've left that out, so I'm not sure what one that came off of. That's the brake rigging, isn't it? Might be off of a tender, so I don't know where that comes from. I mean, I never put that stuff on anyway, so it must have been on the model from delivery. So this is a nice, very nice model as well. Princess Margaret Rose. We'll back this train into the platform, I think, and we'll get the blue one out. Right, let's I'll just pause while I do a bit of shunting about here. Right, we've got this blue one on the end of a train here. So we've got a nice goods train there, a few wagons. This has got a quieter motor. The thing with these motors is they've got some kind of a two nylon bearings, one at each end of the drive shaft, and they kind of support the motor in the frame, and they kind of get distorted over time and start oscillating and making noises. This one, I'm not sure whether I've tinkered with it to get it quiet or it was always quiet. Not quite sure about that. As you can hear, it's a little bit quieter. The other one was really roaring away, wasn't it? Let's have a look from this angle. It's good to get these models out now and again so that they don't just linger in their boxes and sort of get seized up. Some of them, some of the factory lubricants are way too thick, and if you leave them a few months, the model won't run unless you clean it all out. But in the instructions for the Class 31 or Brush Type 2, it does say use sewing machine oil and no grease. So, and that's what I've always done. Actually, I've never put grease on any moving parts of these models. I just put a little bit of light oil. Sewing machine oil is best. I don't use 3-in-1, although I suppose you could do. Probably wouldn't do any harm, but some of them, of course, have got bearings that are plastic. One side of the bearing plastic and one side metal, so you've got to be careful what you put on these things. I think silicone is quite a good lubricant where you've got plastic involved. And I've found that if you're doing those plastic wheel sets in plastic bogies, get a toothbrush, put a bit of Mr. Sheen on it, and that's got silicone in it, and that cleans and lubricates the bearings for a little while. Doesn't do any harm to the plastic, but you know, wipe off any excess and you're good to go. Someone will probably chirp up and say, oh, you should never put Mr. Sheen on plastic. I haven't had any bad experiences with it though, so it's perfectly safe as far as I'm concerned. It's a really smooth model, that one. You literally can't hear the motor going at all. That first coach, by the way, in that train, it's not a Triang one, I think it's a Bachmann one, but I got it in a job lot and there's no name underneath, so I'm just presuming it's Bachmann. It's got the modern small couplings on it. But the other coaches in that train are Hornby Railways, modern ones. Modern-ish, I should say. Yeah, he's quite smooth, isn't he? Little bit of a line side view to finish up with, and I'll see you again soon, hopefully. Bye for now.